In this video I will tell you everything you need to know about starting your handstand journey. A handstand is pretty difficult but doable to learn. Everyone will be able to learn to do a beginner type of handstand, but it will take years of dedication to getting it to a proper level. Getting it perfect will easily take you 3 years, but to most of us it will take 5 and maybe even 15 years of dedication. A lot of it has to do with how genetically gifted you are, the knowledge you acquire, and the effort you put in. All of this combined will get you a solid handstand. Yes, I am a coach, but no, I'm not a handstand specialist. If you want to watch and learn from the best handstand coaches I know, I recommend Shaki, my Dutch brother, Mikael, Yuri Marmerstein, and last but not least, Pavel. These guys are great at their craft and I truly recommend them for learning more about high-level handstands and other types of skills. Now enough of this introduction, let's start with how to do a handstand. Handstand form. A proper handstand consists of 7 bullet points. Number 1 is hand placement. Spread out your fingers. You can keep them flat or, as I like to do, grab the floor. Your hand should have a 3-point connection with the floor. Your wrist, knuckle line and fingertips. Try to put most of the pressure on the knuckle area. This leaves more room for adjusting in the handstand when you fall forward or backwards. Now to make the handstand a bit easier, we can also learn it on parallettes, but it all depends on what you practice most is what you will become best at. Number 2, elbows. Keep them locked for most of the time. If you keep arms bent, it will be hard to actually get proper form. It will always look crooked, so lock your elbows. When it comes to the kick up or balancing, it is possible to readjust by slightly bending arms. But the actual handstand hold should be with locked arms. Number 3, shoulders. Really open up your shoulders. What I mean is, in order to get a straight line, you must be able to fully extend your arms over your head. If you are in a position that looks like this, the handstand will be much more strength focused instead of balancing. With fully open shoulders and a slightly tucked in chest, your line will severely improve. Also keep in mind making yourself as tall as possible. Really extend as much as you can. Try to reach for the sky or the core of the earth because you're upside down. Your feet should reach the sky. Number 4, core. Funnily enough, your abs are like the least important in handstand. Whether you are fully contracted or just a bit loose, it's not about the core. Squeezing your abs will not significantly improve your handstand. Keeping it tight might make you feel a bit stronger, so do as you wish. What is more important is lower back activation. If we want to hold a handstand in a line, we must engage our lower back in combination with point number 5, the hips. If we put hips in a posterior pelvic tilt and engage our lower back, we will get a better line. Practicing this for the first time will be pretty difficult because it's hard to feel your body when you're upside down and you're not used to it. Try to feel your whole body working together and film yourself for building better awareness. Number 6, knees. Also not very important when it comes to balancing, but locking them out will give you a better line, obviously. Only in handstand variations we bend our knees. Number 7, feet. This is for aesthetic and control reasons. We point our toes. This makes correcting yourself a bit easier, and like I said, it looks a bit better than doing it like this. I even get a bit awkward when demonstrating it like this. Point your toes. Now if we combine all 7 points, you will probably fail because it's very difficult to do everything at the same time. It will take you a few days, weeks, months and maybe even years to get your full body awareness. Trying to do 1, 2, maybe even 3. No, I don't recommend 3. Focus on 2 points at the same time. So focus on your shoulders, for example, and keeping your elbows locked. Try to extend your shoulders as much as you can above your head while locking out your elbows. Once you get that part down, focus on your hips, for example. But don't try to do everything together because it will feel like, I don't even know, like you're not able to. So just calm down, focus point on point, try to switch it every training. Don't try to get it perfect at one go. It will not work. If you try to do 1 or 2 points at a time, it eventually will become of second nature and you can move on to improving other steps. Mobility and flexibility. If you have done a handstand before and you have filmed yourself, you might have thought, wow, my handstand is not straight at all. It is crooked. Now there are several reasons why your handstand is not straight. One of them is your mobility/muscle activation. If you're standing and you're not even able to get into the correct handstand position while you're on your feet, It might be because you are not mobile enough. You can practice this on the floor, for example, to get more body awareness in the first place and getting in the stretch you need. The most important parts to focus on are first of all your shoulder mobility, so actively opening up your shoulder. We can do this while practicing handstand itself, so just doing attempts, or doing accessory exercises like thoracic extensions or stick dislocations. Learning how to properly tuck in our chest and being in a posterior pelvic tilt helps us with getting a straight line. We can do this on the floor. Last but not least, getting a better hamstring flexibility can help you with getting a better kick-up. So make sure to stretch these areas regularly. The kick-up. Find a wall. This is where it all really starts. Now, when I started learning the handstand back at my parents' place, I completely failed. I was not able to kick myself up to the wall. I kept trying and trying and trying, but I just could not make it to the wall. This is also because of several reasons. One of them is missing proper technique, and combined with strength, of course, because I was very weak back then. To successfully enter the handstand, we need a proper kick-up. We do this by setting us up correctly from the start. Grab the floor. Lock your elbows. Make sure your shoulders are in line / slightly in front of your wrist and elbow. Place one foot close to your hands. Round your upper back. Now really put pressure into your hands as if you're pushing away the floor. A millisecond after straightening your leg, jump with your... Hallo? Goeiedag? Hallo? Wat? Ik heb straighten and swing your back leg. And a millisecond after, straighten / jump with your closed leg up into the sky. We go straight up, not backwards, not forward, straight up. Straighten your kicking leg once your swinging leg is above your hips. Bring in the other leg. Create balance, which we will talk about in a bit, and close your legs. Keep your hips in a posterior pelvic tilt throughout the entire range of motion. See the kick-up as an extension of yourself. Practice this a lot. It is okay to hit the wall at first, but try to find the sweet spot. Learn to even out your force and gently touch the wall. Eventually, do not touch the wall at all, safely falling out of handstand. Now when we get comfortable with the wall, we can start by practicing some freestanding attempts or even belly to wall attempts. Now what might happen is that you will fall over. But because there's no wall, you will fall flat on your back, or you'll do something with your arms and land on your neck or something like I did when I was a bit less experienced. So let's not do this. Let's not break our backs or neck. You need to rotate out of the handstand. Let go of one hand and rotate your body inside. It will happen pretty naturally. This is such a difficult word. If you let go with one hand, practice both hands and do not let fear block your progress. Handstand is a safe move to learn, if practiced correctly and you know how to fall. Now I have seen countless of time with many different people and also many friends of mine that they have a pretty decent kick-up, but they just cannot seem to be balancing. This is because they leave the wall too early. Balance needs to be trained, and just kicking up and praying does not work. Now yes, some people have learned the handstand by just kicking up and doing whatever and eventually figuring it out, but there's a much more systematical way of learning how to do the handstand, and this is by doing it against a wall. So we practice balance by doing our kick up against the wall. With our kicking leg we try to avoid hitting the wall. We stop before it and look for a point where we are fairly straight. By lowering our leg and pushing through our fingers, we will fall backwards if we do it with too much power. Now if we are very careful, lower our leg, press through our fingers and shoulders, we will slowly start to go into balance. Go for milliseconds in the beginning. Keep coming back to the wall. Fall out, kick back up and create balance. Not finding. Finding balance does not exist, you create it. Sometimes switch your legs and do it in reverse and try to get small sets and build up over time. Eventually we will be able to put our legs together and we will start balancing. We correct ourselves through the hands, shoulders, lower back and legs. Play around a lot in this, and when you get in your first 5 seconds, try to do a few attempts freestanding. But as long as you're not consistently balancing while doing freestand, just keep practicing against the wall. There's no shame in this. It will just make your progress quicker. Jumping up 20 times and failing a lot will just burn energy. Yes, you will get experience, but you will also get very frustrated. So try to be successful in your training and at least get a few decent attempts against the wall. If you're getting more consistent wall handstand holds, you can also try to train belly to wall handstand. This is a fundamental exercise to learn if you also want to control overbalancing. Spending time in handstand. Now this might come as a shock to you, but the more time you spend upside down in handstand, the quicker you will learn it, funnily enough. If we do one session a week for an hour straight, you can expect progress, but not a lot. Now, if we do 5 sessions throughout the entire week for 10 minutes, you will get a lot more progress. You need to be consistent and practice every week. You should practice 3 times a week minimum. When it comes to strength, I find 3 sessions in a week a bit too much, but when it comes to balancing, we need to do this more often than strength training. And especially if you want to get a very solid handstand. Our brain needs to adapt and it will take a lot of consistent work. So get upside down. Quality over quantity. Now if we are really sore, we should not bother practicing handstand. We want to be sharp in body and mind. If we do 10 quality sets a week, it is better for progress than doing 20 sloppy sets where we are not very focused and drained of energy. So listen to your body. Handstand conditioning. To get stronger in the handstand and gain more endurance, we can perform simple drills. We can do shoulder shrugs, for example, kick-ups for reps, belly to wall walks, and learning how to do pike push-ups. We also want to really stretch our shoulders more often and get comfortable in the position. If there is one important tip I want to give you guys, it is to enjoy your journey. Have fun while practicing. This is a long journey and for some of us it will be a long one before we get real good. Being frustrated, angry and bitter about how a training is going will be detrimental to your progress. Remember, we are doing this for our enjoyment. And being very emotional will not help us with our progress. Be peaceful when you are training. Film yourself, analyze mistakes, and laugh at your failures. Handstand is beautiful to learn, and I will probably practice it until I am very old. If I could only choose one exercise to do for the rest of my life, it would be handstand. There are so many dimensions, you can get so much stronger in it, you get great physique from it, and it's just so fun. It's cool for women, it's cool for men, it's cool for whoever. It doesn't matter. Everyone can learn it. It's cool for children. Guys, handstand is just really fun and I really advise you to learn it. Hopefully this guide was useful to you. I want to wish you good luck in your trainings. Please let me know in the comments how your handstand progression is going, if you are struggling with something or you've achieved a specific form of handstand, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Take care guys. Goodbye.